fucking brilliant, man. You're looking at it side by side, you're like, oh, that's how you beat a monster. You just fucking go like, look how stupid this is, you know, by holding up a fucking ridiculous, an even more ridiculous sign next to them. So I filed that away for future use and shit, and sure enough, we made the movie Red State, and they got into Sundance, and they announced that they were gonna protest the movie at Sundance. They put out a press release again, and it said, God hates the fag enablers of the Sundance Film Festival. The mockers and scoffers of God are going to face the wrath of his mighty servants as they protest this movie made by the pervert Kevin Smith. I've been downgraded from fag enabler to the pervert because they knew I liked fag enablers, so they started calling me the pervert and shit. I was like, that sucks. So I knew what to do this time. They said they were going to protest half an hour before the movie began. I said, I got this one. We put out our own press release, bless you, and we said, hey man, anybody can fucking write senseless horseshit on a sign and hold it up. So I'm calling out to everyone else out there, why should we let these Phelpses have all their fun with their Christian God and protests and whatnot? I'm calling out to anyone, come join us in a counter-protest, because we got way cooler movie gods like Zool and Crom and shit like that. I said, fucking Thor, lay down your hammer and pick up a protest sign and join us in a Park City battle of the mega gods. I said, big photo ops, everyone welcome and shit like that. And so we set about making signs. Like night before the screening at Sundance, there's like 8, 10 of us in the condo, and we're all making fucking protest signs, just like the Phelpses, but fucking dopey. So like I made a sign that said, God hates rainy days and Mondays. And then I made a sign, there's a chick in the family, Megan Phelps, who's Fred Phelps' granddaughter. She's the daughter of Shirley Phelps Roper, who's now the chief mouthpiece of the WBC, the Westboro Baptist Church. She's very active on social media. She's always hitting me up on Twitter. I feel like she's always flirting with me. Even though the flirts are like, you're gonna burn in hell, but you can tell she likes me. So I used to tweet her back all the time, shit, where I'd be hitting her in a different, she'd come at me with hell, I'd come at her a little below the belt. I'd be like, Megan, my wife says as long as it'll help to save you from your cult-like family, that we can all have a three-way together. And she'd write back, you're a pig. I was like, you have no idea. So I do shit like that, and so I made a sign for her that said, God hates all Phelpses except Megan, God thinks Megan's hot. You know? Just to fucking embarrass her and shit. Made another sign, what was it? God hates press screenings, I said. Made another sign, well, Muse had a killer sign. Muse's sign, I don't know if he quite got the exercise, but his protest sign said, God loves Muse's cock. Which, like, at first I was people like, don't bring that. And then I was like, I can't disprove it, you know? It could be true. But my friend Malcolm, hands down, had the best protest sign, and I take credit for it, because he came up to me and he was just like, everyone's got a good sign except me. I was like, oh, Malcolm, I have the perfect sign for you if you're willing to hold it. You're the only one here who can. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, they fight, I say you fight fire with fire. They always fight unfairly with 3 fucking words, God hates fags. I say you gotta hit him back with the antithesis. What's the opposite of that sentiment? 3 words, very simply, on a poster, dick tastes yummy. And so he's like, that's brilliant, I'll do it. You know, and he went over, he starts working on it, and fucking, he put all the artistry of a Michelangelo into that fucking thing. All the letters beautifully formed, he holds it up, and it's fully legible from across the room and fucking right up close. So I said, Malcolm, that's great. He's like, oh no, it's not finished. Glue sparklies on the motherfucker. And then he was fucking ready, and we all took a bus over to the Eccles Theater, which is up at Park City in Sundance, a high school. And that's one of the screens that you screen at during the Sundance Film Festival. They got this massive 1,400 seat theater there. So that's where it's gonna be. We pull up with all our protest signs, get off our bus, and there we see 4 Phelpses standing on this little snowy embankment that it looked like all the snow had been pushed away from the driveway of the theater and stuff. Standing there holding their signs, 2 signs pieces looking like hateful scarecrows. But then just beyond them, a sea of fucking cameras. People took me literally about the photo op and shit. And it was a melee. I'd never seen anything like that. Medium melee, lights, fucking, it was incredible. It looked like it was a scene from a movie. It was so unreal. And then beyond them, the thing that did my heart fucking good, someone was listening when we were like, hey man, anyone can write senseless horse shit on a sign. Since the Eccles is at a high school, there's 100 high school kids who went there who were like, fuck these people, and they decided to join the protest. Now, Phelpses would stand there holding signs that God hates fags. The high school kids were like 10 feet away are holding signs that are like, God hates homework. It was so fucking adorable. It was so sweet, man. Elmo sweet. And it was like my favorite sign, hands down, was in the way back. There was a kid, very tall, holding up a sign that says, why did God cancel Pushing Daisies? So fucking awesome. I was having a blast. And then we went and I faced down the monsters. They were the Phelpses and shit. They let us, the staff led us to where we could protest them and shit. Cops were involved. And we're standing right in front of them and they're singing like these songs. They sing protest songs, but all they do is take a song you know, change a word and make it mean. Like they'll sing God Bless America, but they sing God Hates America. Kind of like a Nazi Weird Al Yankovic. But they're singing God Hates America, but over here to the left, behind me, the high school kids are chanting Lady Gaga lyrics. So over here you got God Hates America, and over here you got rah, rah, Gaga, rah, rah. And as if it was scoring the moment, like a movie, into the melee strides Malcolm holding his sign. And I'm like, come here, because I can't fucking wait, man. This is the moment I've been waiting for. You hold up Dictate Yummy to a Phelps, they might just melt, you know? So I'm like, fucking get right next to me, dude, come over here. And I'm holding up my signs one after another and shit. He fucking holds up his sign so proudly, so earnestly. He looks like fucking Lloyd Dobler and Say Anything. He's just like, fucking in your eyes, Shirley. And I fucking look from his sign right over to Shirley Roper's face, because I gotta see this. This is like, what will happen? How will she react? And I swear to you, it was so wonderful. This is exactly what happened. She don't see him at first. She's singing, and then finally she locks eyes with him. They look exactly like this. God hates America. She fucking did that face, and I was like, oh my God! I was hitting Malcolm. I was like, did you see her face? And then somebody grabbed me. They're like, you gotta go inside, introduce the movie and shit. I was like, ah, fuck. So I went inside, introed the movie. At the end, we were like, we're taking the movie out ourselves. One of the places we said we were gonna take it was Kansas City Midland Theater, back where they protested me once before. So a month later, I'm selling tickets online and on the radio, calling into this radio station in Kansas City, man. And I'm just like, hey, come out and see the flick. We're coming to town next week, blah, blah, blah. And the DJ, I venture her name was, she goes, oh my God, Megan Phelps is on the phone. You want to talk to her? I was like, shit, yeah, put her on. And so she's like, hello, Kevin. I was like, hello, my marketing partners, how are you? And she goes, we just want you to know that we're coming to protest you at the Kansas City Midland Theater. And I was like, all right, fair enough. I said, but listen, you guys have been protesting me. It seems kind of silly that once we go inside to start the movie, that's it, protest over, you go home. If you're gonna drive 2 hours to protest us, why don't you stick around, come watch the movie. Bring you inside, you can watch the movie. She goes, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know what to say it. Come watch the movie, man. And better yet, afterwards I do a Q&A on stage. I'll bring you up on stage and you can review the movie for the audience. And she goes, you wouldn't let me say whatever I want to say. I was like, if you want to get up on stage, tell us we're all going to hell, call us all fag enablers, that's totally fucking fine. Because I figured I'd rather her do that here on a stage with me than at some fucking funeral at some poor kid or some soldier or somewhere else. So I was like, come on up, it'll be a blast. And she goes, well, I'm not coming alone. And I was like, that's fine. And she goes, I could bring other people. I said, yeah, well, you need some tickets? She goes, yeah. And I said, okay. And she goes, how many tickets can we get? I said, how many tickets do you need? She goes, 5. And I go, you need 5 tickets? That's fine, we'll give you 5. She's like, okay, bye. And she hung up and shit. I turned to John Gordon, my producer, I was like, fucking Phelpses are coming. How easy was that? It's fucking crazy. And the phone rings again. I answer, it's Megan Phelps again. I go, hello? She goes, can we get 15 tickets? And I was like, oh, God hates fags, but the Lord loves a bargain, doesn't he? I was like, yeah, we got your hookup, man. 15 fucking tickets. And she's like, okay, bye. And they came to protest. Once again, I encouraged others. I said, hey, man, anybody can counter protest. This time I said, the best signs will get in for free. We'll let you come and watch the movie for fucking nothing and shit. So a bunch of protesters showed up. They had 15 people across the street from the theater, each holding 2 signs, so they looked like 30 if you squinted, kind of. On the other side, we had 50, 75 kids, you know, and it's all, you get tons of like gay high school kids who are always like very flamboyant and colorful and shit. One of them had this amazing fucking sign, my favorite protest sign of that night. He had a poster, just simply a blank white poster. Onto it he stapled looked like a double-page spread from a Return of the Jedi poster magazine, a picture of Wicket the Ewok standing there holding a spear. And he drew a gigantic Ghostbusters no sign. And that was it, man. Like, there was no message. I looked at the back, so I expected to see God hates Endor or something like that. Nothing. Like, it was just so abstract and brilliant. And it was like he was still mad, and he was like, finally, I get to express it, you know? And the Phelpses across the street were perplexed by it, because they're like, what does that one mean, you know? Is that aimed at us? Who is that Satan bear? So it was it was a blast. And then I said, all right, movie star, and everybody come inside. Phelpses came in, we put them up in the balcony, because we wouldn't put them on the main floor, because people would just be like, the whole time. Or hit them with a bottle or something like that. You don't want that. Well, you do, but you can't. So we put them up in the balcony and shit, so they were safe from everybody else. And when I went to start the show and shit, I was like, hey man, is Shirley Phelps Roper up there? And she leaned forward. I was like, oh fuck, Shirley, you're here, man. That's awesome. I haven't seen you since Sundance. I got a big question. And I told her and the audience that story that I just told you. Malcolm signed dictation. I mean, her going like that and shit like that. I said, now Shirley, this has been bugging me for like a month and a half since that happened. I want to know so badly. When you made that face, did you make that face because you're like, I don't agree with your politics, fat gay man? Or did you make that face because you're like, no, it doesn't? And she didn't fucking respond. But they gave me a sort of response. 7 minutes later, we started the show. 7 minutes into it, I get a tap on my shoulder. I turn around, and it's fucking Megan Phelps. I flinched, literally flinched, because you don't want to see a Phelps that close. And I was like, oh shit, how are you, man? She's like, hi, we just wanted to say goodbye before we go. I was like, what do you mean, you're going? She goes, yeah, we wanted to give you a gift. And I was like, wait, the movie just began. It was like, we're only like 7 minutes in. She's like, yeah, we can't stay. I was like, why? She goes, Kevin, this is filthy. And I want to put that on the poster, Kevin, this is filthy, the Phelpses. So I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And she goes, well, before we go, we just want to give you this present. And that's when I got scared, because I just imagined being, and the present is God's holy bullets, you know. And so I start leaning behind Jen just a little bit. And fucking finally, she pulls up 2 posters. She gave me 2 protest posters as a gift. One said, God hates fag enablers, which is me. And I like that one. And the other one was very strange, a little abstract. It's not as abstract as the Ewok poster, but very odd. They took the title treatment from our poster, and they added 1 more word and put it onto a poster by itself. 3 words with the background of our poster said simply, Red State Fags. And then they all signed it. Like, so the poster is like, Luke 4:2, Fred Phelps. Or Megan signed it like,